Hello, viewers, and welcome to a new episode where we will be discussing about the diffusion of innovation theory. We have with us today Mr. Orkoprabha Chattopadhyay, who is a faculty of media studies. Hello, sir.
Hello.
I am Shayantan Mukherjee, a student of media science. So tell us, sir, what is this diffusion theory all about?
Well, the diffusion of innovation is a theory that evaluates a communication process. Okay? So, before we understand or evaluate this theory, we must first fix our objectives. Today, we will be understanding the concept of adoption. Okay? The adoption of ideas. We will also understand the process through which these ideas pass through a process of diffusion through the social structure. Then we will evaluate the components that construct this theory, and finally we will evaluate its relevance given the present day technological advancements and the present media scenario. We will first evaluate the diffusion process. Now, we must understand that whenever there is a new idea, whenever there is a new innovation, whenever there is a technological advancement that comes across our way, society is firstly uncertain as to whether I will adopt this new technology, whether I will innovate with this new innovation, whether I will accept this new technology, whether I will use it. The society, the people, who each individual, they are apprehensive at first. Whenever there is, say, an advancement in technology, for example, telecom, when smartphones came into the market, people were not used to it. It was a new idea. It was a new thing that has suddenly landed. People were used to their older phones where they had keypads. They were really fast entering the numbers,
Yes.
and they knew where the phone book was. They knew how to message. So, when the smartphones came into the market, when it was made available to each and every citizen at a possible cost, the purchasing power of most of the people were suitable, right, to adopt this new idea. But when this new idea entered the market, there were a few people who immediately adopted this new idea.
Okay.
The innovation in this case is the smartphone. Okay. We are going to discuss how this innovation is adopted by society.
Okay.
And we know that society does not consist of one individual or one kind of individual. Now, this smartphone motivates me in a certain kind of a way. And it motivates you in a different kind of a way, because you as an individual are different from me. Okay? So, given my background, say I am more or less a lower middle class individual with financial constraints. Okay? Whereas you are a high flying person with a lot of money and who is willing to take risks. Okay? So, this smartphone would appeal to you in a way that you want to try it. You want to utilize your financial stability. You want to innovate. Okay? You want to adopt it immediately.
Yes.
Whereas I, a different individual, would perhaps be a little skeptical as to why take this risk. Is it useful to me?
Is it necessary or not?
I would consider it to be a necessity
Yes.
for me to adopt, where it could be a luxury for you. It may not be a necessity for you.
Yeah.
But you could adopt it as a luxury, right?
True.
So, the two of us are individuals who are part of society, but we are looking at the same innovation, that is the smartphone, and thus we are adopting it at different stages and in different ways. Okay? This is the basis on which the diffusion of innovation theory is based. Okay? The elements is the innovation, that is the smartphone. The social system, that is people like you and me, are different financial backgrounds, are different cultures. So this difference that together forms the social system. The communication channels. How did I get to know about the smartphone?
True.
Through television, perhaps, through the internet, through newspaper, and also the amount of time that it is available in the market. That is the shelf life. You see, whenever a new product is launched, it is advertised for quite some time, and then it is available in the market for also quite some time. And during this time frame, the whole process of diffusion happens. You pick it up immediately. I gather money, I talk to others, I calculate, and then I pick that adoption up. So time is an important element in this diffusion process. We will further discuss on. Okay. Now, what are the characteristics? The characteristics are that of the communication channel. Say, when I hear about a product or an innovation like a smartphone on a TV channel, say like NDTV, I immediately associate that smartphone with the credibility of that channel. So, but for me, since it has got this link with NDTV, in my mind that link will also be there. So this product is credible.
Okay.
So, the communication channel is an important ingredient that facilitates the adoption process. Now, the second aspect, the second characteristic would be the promotional effort. When the smartphone is being endorsed by a celebrity like Shah Rukh Khan or Amitabh Bachchan or say Sachin Tendulkar, it immediately gives a great impact to my mind. I would perhaps do away with all my inhibitions, with all my second thoughts, because of my love for Sachin Tendulkar.
Okay.
And I would trust him. Now, that is a promotional effort by the smartphone company.
Yes.
To persuade me. Okay?
Okay.
And say there was no Sachin Tendulkar, there was no such celebrity promotion, then that same product may not have influenced my decision to such an extent. Now, the third characteristic would be the perceived characteristics of the innovation.
Meaning?
What is perception?
My point of view, maybe?
No. Perception is the process of sensation. That is my eyes, my ears. They sense light or sound. Okay?
Yes.
So after I sense what is being shown on the television through my eyes and my ears, my mind goes through a process of cognition and relate to it and understand what is being shown.
Okay.
Now, the promotional effort presents a perception of the smartphone.
Yes.
Means after watching the ad, what do I take back from that ad?
Okay.
This smartphone is light. This smartphone is hardy. It has got many advanced features that weren't there in the phones that were before. So these are what I learned from that app, from that advertisement. This is what I gathered, the information. This is my perception of the
Product.
innovation.
Okay.
Finally, what kind of a person I am? How do I decide? Is my decision based on my financial ability? Is my decision based on my social status? Do I want to show off the phone to my friends? Or do I want to use it? I really need to. I could use the technology. I could maybe call on a taxi using my smartphone. So it is useful to me. So maybe that is why that is my decision making
A necessity.
catalyst.
Okay, yeah.
That is the catalyst that gets my decision, and I am persuaded. Okay. So that decision making has different types.
Yeah.
Maybe I am taking the decision based on utility. You are maybe taking the decision based on finance. Okay. These are the stages you can see in the adoption process. Confirmation. That is the final stage. And it is facilitated by how much I have been persuaded. It is also dependent on whether I have taken the decision or not. Whether I have implemented the ingredients that I took back from the advertisement that was shown to me.
Okay.
And the advertisement that was shown to me has given me the knowledge. So, first I get the knowledge
Okay.
about an innovation. I implement that knowledge as to whether it is useful to me. First, I get a knowledge that this is a smartphone, this has XYZ features. I implement it by evaluating utility X, whether it relates to me, whether it is helpful to me, because the features XYZ are general. It is available to everyone. Someone may need it, someone may not, right? So I implement those bits and pieces of knowledge that I have gathered, which formulates my decision, yes or no, whether I will buy it or not. Okay, and this decision is also based on persuasion by my friends and the other people in the social system. Someone who has already bought it says, I appreciate the innovation and I stand by my decision to buy it. You should buy it too. And so he's persuaded me, and that persuasion finally confirms, and I buy the product. That is the confirmation. And after I buy the product, I further keep on seeking confirmation. That when someone else asks me, oh, you have bought this new phone, you say, yeah. He says, can I see it? And once he goes through it, he'll say, wow. That is confirmation that I have made the correct decision.
Yes.
Okay? Now, like I said, the two of us are different individuals in the same society. Society consists of different kinds of people, different kinds of individuals with different backgrounds. No two individuals have the same history. No two individuals have grown up in the same environment with the same kind of events. So no two individuals are the same. Every human being is different from another. So it is really difficult to classify society. You cannot classify infinity. Right?
Yes.
So, but in order to evaluate this process, we have to try and classify them. So, for this theory, Mr. Everett M. Rogers, who has propounded and constructed this theory in the year 1962, he categorized, or rather classified, society based on their adoption, based on their drive for innovation. Whenever there is a product that comes into the market, a product or an innovation or a technological advancement that is available for us, it comes in, and the first people to adopt that new innovation, the first people are known as the innovators.
I see.
And they are 2.5% of the total target audience of the people who will generally adopt. So the vertical axis is a showcase of the number of people who are adopting, and the horizontal axis showcases the time.
The time for the product to establish itself.
The time for the people to adopt that innovation. Okay. So say this is 1 week, this is 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, it's going like that.
Absolutely.
Okay? So each product has a shelf life, right? So in that sense, the first people who adopt an innovation are known as the innovators. People who are financially very well off, who are on the lookout for luxury items, people who are willing to take a risk. It is not always the case that a product is successful. Okay, it is not always the case that an innovation is truly effective. Okay, so those who invest immediately do not take it upon themselves to evaluate that risk. Okay, since they have the financial capacity and also the drive or the need to innovate within themselves. Okay, they're on the lookout for that. So they buy that product, or rather adopt it, or adopt that technology immediately.
As soon as it comes out.
As soon as it comes out. So these people are known as the innovators.
Okay.
Please keep in mind that the people who have constructed the product or have discovered the technological advancement are not the innovators in this case.
Okay.
This is after the product is there in the market. This is an evaluation of society.
Okay.
Not of the scientists who have ensured that this new innovation has taken place. Okay. The second stage, the second group or class of people are the early adopters.
Okay.
The early adopters are people who who are practical and who take an informed decision. They consider each and every parameter, each and every point that is to be taken into account before buying that product. So these are the people. They could be rich, or they could be. They could generally be people who have the purchasing power,
Yeah.
but they will not blindly
Purchase
adopt
it.
it.
Okay.
They will
Yes.
evaluate it, and they will take an informed decision.
Okay.
So these early adopters, they construct 13.5%
Okay.
of the total target audience.
Okay.
Then we have the early majority and the late majority. There is little difference between the two except for the time frames.
Okay. But they're actually equal. 34% for both of them.
Yes, they are more or less together 68%.
Okay.
34. And the difference is in the time frame. Someone finally abides by the technological advancement a week before, and the other a little bit later.
Yeah.
Who are a little bit more speculative. I'll tell you why as well.
Okay.
So, the early majority and the late majority, they see that the innovators and the early adopters, they are using the smartphone and they are becoming so smart. Whilst a person who is in the early majority
Yeah.
is waiting for a taxi, say at 12 o'clock at night, say at the Park Circus crossing here in Calcutta.
Yeah.
Another person, young person who is an early adopter, he comes, he uses his phone, he gets on an application, he calls a cab.
Yeah.
He gets on the cab and he moves out.
Yeah.
This person feels that I must be a Neanderthal. I am way behind my time. And that is the spark
That's
of
the trigger.
persuasion. Persuasion. He gets persuaded. I have the money. Why shouldn't I adopt?
Okay.
So he follows. Okay. And he understands that it is a necessity. This is the future. So he follows.
Okay.
The late majority, they are a little harder to break. Say people of an older age group. They do not want to learn something new. So in that sense, there are other issues apart from finance that are taken into account by the adopters, such as I am used to something. Why should I get out of my comfort zone? Because I'll have to learn that new kind of technology all over again. It's just like I will not get out of the typewriter because I'm really fast at it. So that is an evaluation of the early majority and the late majority.
Okay.
And the final and the last people to adopt new technology are the laggards, who are not practical, who, even though the whole world has changed, would like to stick to the old frame and they are orthodox.
Which people are these?
Say, people who would, I wouldn't say it's a negative kind of, they are negative kind of people, because a person who's a laggard in terms of a smartphone
Yeah.
can be an early adopter in terms of a car.
Okay.
When a new car comes out.
Okay.
Because maybe he thinks that a phone is meant for calling someone else. Just for that.
Okay.
So if you ask him that what about the technology size for like a, say, taxi app. You can get a taxi anywhere at any time. He'd say, I have my own car. I don't need a taxi.
Okay.
Maybe if you tell him that, but this phone is going to like revolutionize the way people pay their electricity bills. You can pay from your phone. You can say that I do not trust a phone with financial transactions.
Okay.
I believe in going
Okay.
there, counting my money. That is, he can be an individual who is a laggard
Then
in
he
terms of
is-
a smartphone,
then-
but he may have a affinity for cars, for
Okay.
motorcycles.
Okay.
He may want to have an Harley Davidson. So when the moment a new Harley Davidson motorcycle comes out,
Yeah.
he'll be the first one to buy.
Okay.
He will not be a laggard in that sense.
Okay. So laggards in some and laggards not in others.
A person can be an early
Okay.
adopter for innovation 1,
Okay.
but can be a laggard in innovation 2.
Okay.
It is not generalized. Okay, because it is anyway very complex to classify society.
Yeah.
This is a classification of society
Yeah.
that also based on each innovation.
Yeah.
You cannot generalize in terms of all products or all innovations that have come out in the market, right? A person who's a guitar player
Absolutely.
would be an early adopter for in terms of a guitar, new guitar technology, whereas a laggard can be a person who's a doctor who has nothing to do with guitar or music altogether. So in that sense,
Absolutely.
okay.
So, but this brings me to this question. Is there any human psychology involved in the whole process?
Yes, there is. And this psychological phenomenon is known as cognitive dissonance.
Okay.
Cognitive dissonance is nothing but the apprehension that is created in our minds. There are some people who smoke, knowing that nicotine is harmful. It is hurting their lungs. People around them do not like it. Their family is being harmed because they smoke. People are looking down upon them, okay, because they are wasting time during office perhaps smoking.
Yeah.
So, but yet they smoke. So this dissent that is in their minds, this knowledge of the disadvantages, is being like challenged by things that they make up, such as it looks cool. Everyone else is smoking. Why shouldn't I?
Okay.
Which is all made up, which is not fact. Okay. So the mind makes this up, and it does so
To justify.
to justify my own negative action.
Okay.
So maybe an innovation is necessary. A smartphone is necessary. But a person will make up disadvantage in his mind. That pursues him not to adopt it. Because of which this delay takes place. Otherwise, a new technology, everyone will take it up. So this level of dissonance, cognitive dissonance, differs from individuals as well. Because of which there are different classifications. Okay. To conclude, I would like to say that the diffusion of innovation theory is an evaluation of society and how much society accepts new technology. And this evaluation process still holds true to a certain extent, because the time frame for adoption and the different ways in which individuals are persuaded has radicalized, or rather made people more innovation hungry than they were before. People are awaiting the next innovation as far as the smartphone is concerned. Even before that innovation has taken place, people have now gotten used to adopting new technologies.
Indeed.
Right? So Mr. Everett M. Rogers, he created this theory in 1962 and has presented us with a platform that is progressive, and thus this theory is still in use, and it is put to use by advertising agencies and television channels in the present day scenario as well. So this is more or less an overview of this process of diffusion of the innovation as it trickles down society, and how we, who are individuals who construct society, adopt this innovation. This is the diffusion of innovation theory.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.